Hi there. You're watching Let's Be Okay. I'm your host, Tosan Edu. How are you? That's a question I always like to ask, because life throws us curveballs and sometimes just tries to knock the wind off our sails. But it's up to you, it's up to me to, ensure that we're doing great, we're standing strong. That's so important. So in our previous podcast, we've been talking about, low self-esteem and how to combat it. And, going forward, I asked, some lovely young ladies around me, what do you think we should be talking about now? One said, let's talk about depression. A lot of people are depressed. And I said, oh, of course, I know. And someone else said, okay, let's continue on the series with low self-esteem. Talk about low self-esteem at work, talk about low self-esteem in relationships. And I thought, okay, fine, I'd give these consideration. I was considering these options. But about 2 days ago, I was taking a shower and it dropped in my heart. The topic dropped right in my heart and I knew it was it. Self-identity. Self-identity is very key. Self-identity, with a defined self-identity, you are able, it gives you the tools to chart the course of your life and succeed in life. It helps you chart the course of your life and succeed. If you watch the movie Alice in Wonderland, there was a scene where this caterpillar asked little Alice, "Who are you?" And Alice said, "I hardly know, sir. I've changed so much since today, you see." And that brings me to the same question. Who are you? Who are you? That's a very simple but profound question. Who are you? In the course of my preparation for this, I decided to ask myself this question as I did my research and try to find out more about self-identity. And I realized that I couldn't really answer that question in detail. Write 20 things that define who you are. And I got stuck around number 10. The question is vital, profound, simple but very deep. Who are you? Now I will tell you why that question is very important. Using myself. Years ago, when I was way younger, probably in my late teens, into my 20s, into my 30s, that was a question that I never asked myself. I never tried to define who I was. It's very vital when you're getting information like this. It arms you, it prepares you for what's ahead. I never knew who I was. I never even thought to consider who I was. So it was little wonder that I made the wrongest decisions and made the wrongest choices. I dated people I had no business dating. Guys who disrespected me. Guys who would literally tell me that, I was desperate. I remember one guy I dated who actually told me, use those words on me, why are you so desperate? But that didn't even make me run away. That didn't even make me leave him. I stayed. And then I got into worse relationships that I don't even want to talk about. I got into a relationship that was so long that took my lifetime, almost my whole lifetime. And it was the wrongest relationship ever. But I stayed there. If someone had told me that I'd be in a relationship like this, especially a relationship that took its toll and almost took everything that I had, I would have said, God forbid, and probably spend time praying and fasting just to avert it. But you know why I got into it in the first place? Because I had no definition of who I was. And I dare say, a lot of you young ladies have no clue who you are. You have no clue what you stand for. You don't know who you are. If I've asked you this question, who are you? What are your values? Why are you here? What's your purpose? If you can take the time to answer these questions honestly, just imagine knowing what you stand for. You know what they say? If you do not stand for something, you'd fall for anything. So no wonder I was in a relationship where I was totally disrespected, and I stayed there. A lot of you young ladies are in relationships where you're disrespected every day. You are making choices you have no business making, just because you do not know who you are. What defines you? You can define yourself by your physical attributes. I am tall, I am short. You can define yourself by social culture. I'm a doctor, I'm a student, I'm a creative. Those are good, those are descriptors. But then there are certain aspects of you must define. Your values, for instance, your purpose. One of your values is integrity. Then you will have no business, for example, with a man who tells you this today and is doing something else tomorrow. A man who tells you, I love you, I will be there for you, and then you find out he's sleeping around. But you stay there. Self-respect, dignity. If those are values that are important to you, you will spot from a mile away someone whose values are incongruent with yours. So it's important that you define who you are. Define who you are. There's something called your true self. Your true self is who you are when you don't have any societal influences. And there is your real self, who you are right now, your reality, who you are right now. And when I say who you are right now, there are influences that have made you who you are. Religion, your family, your society. And then there is the ideal self, who you want to be. I have an ideal self, the image of an ideal self. When your real self and your ideal self come into alignment, you find that you'll be living a more successful life, where you have a healthy self-identity, and you can chase after your dreams. You know who you are, you know what you stand for. Then you can set boundaries. You can set boundaries for your life. You know where you're headed. When you don't know where you're headed, you will go in any direction. If you just imagine that you want to go somewhere, but you don't even know where you're going, then I can take you anywhere. If you say, I want to go to Lekki because I live in Lagos, and you have no idea where Lekki is, I can say, okay, I will take you to Lekki, and instead I'm taking you to Yaba. You will have no idea where I am taking you to. You will just find yourself in a place where you never intended, where you didn't plan for. That's how a lot of us, a lot of young ladies are living their lives today. You have to make up your mind that you will take charge of your life. Don't make the mistakes that some of us who are ahead have made. Take charge of your life. Take charge. It helps you define who you're with. It helps you define where you are going. It helps you define the choices you make. It's time to take charge of your life. I can't overemphasize that enough. And if you're much older, you can still define who you are. Take a moment today, write down, answer this. Let this be an assignment for you. Who are you? You can write down 20 things that define who you are. Physical attributes. If you do a lot of physical attributes, if more of what you say you are is you're beautiful, I am tall, I am smart, I am kind, then that's great, but it should be deeper than that. It should be at a deeper level. It's important to know why you were here. It's important to know where you were headed, what your purpose is, and then begin to set your values. What is important to me? Before the next podcast, I would like you to sit down, analyze yourself, and try to define who you are. In my next podcast, we'll be talking about your true self, your real self, and your ideal self. Your real self, your true self, and your ideal self. And we will go along the series, we will talk about how to define your personal values. How do you define those personal values, and how do you begin to live by them? How do you live by them? And how do you let them help you chart the course of your life? It's been a great time having this conversation with you. I hope you enjoyed it. If it's been beneficial to you, please share with your friends, share with your loved ones, send it to someone you think needs to hear this. And please, by all means, click on the like button, and just encourage this podcast, and let's grow together. Remember to always say, I love myself, I deserve the best out of life, and I am worthy. I'm worthy of all the best, all the good that life has to offer. See you next time, and have a beautiful, beautiful day. Bye.